Welcome to the Austin All Day Podcast. This is episode 1. Joining me here today is Chef Josie from the Culinary Dropout. He is the executive chef, and I was honored to have him here for the very first episode. Please go ahead and find Chef Joe on Instagram at Joe Zucrell. That's JoeZukrel, and on Twitter at Joe Blackout, and Facebook at Joe Zucrell. You guys aren't going to be disappointed. Sit back, grab a drink, get comfortable, and listen. We're here, right? Chef Joe, CDO.
That's right.
Right. Joe Z.
Joe Z, not to be confused with Joe P.
Right. It's never Jay-Z, is it?
I try to avoid that, but I
But
do
you
get it a lot. Yeah.
Because JP, though. I mean, like,
Yeah.
I did. It didn't even register as Jay-Z until I said it out loud.
Yeah.
But JP and Jay-Z, right?
It was like the one thing that I said when I started working there that I'd appreciate if people didn't call me.
Oh, yeah.
But
I've never
it
even
definitely
said that,
happened.
put those two together until just
Yeah.
a second. But yeah, I get JP. I'm Jason Powers.
oh yeah, yeah.
JP. So the J's, it's an easy thing to.
Yeah, I get Chef Jay-Z or Dad.
Dad.
Dad. They all call me Dad too.
Oh yeah, nice. There you go. So you've taken over the role over there as executive chef, correct?
I am. Yes,
Cool.
sir.
Nice, and it's going well.
Yeah, so far so good.
Looks like it from what I see.
Yeah, I mean, we're killing the game over there. It's crazy busy all the time.
That's been the word since you opened, right?
Yeah, it's been nonstop, but I mean, it's progressively getting busier and busier. I mean, whenever we opened, we didn't actually have as many tables in the restaurant as we could fit because we were kind of trying to stagger ourselves a little bit so
Right.
that way we had some room to grow, and we just keep bringing in more and more people.
Nice. And now that all the patio is all set up, I mean, it's in the domain, right? So outside mall. So
Yeah. So we actually added another side to that patio.
okay,
We have a whole like banquette of booths that we added like 6 tables, and that's another like 30 bodies we can fit over there.
and there's live music frequently.
Yeah, live music 5 nights a week, and then we do it for brunch as well. So
You have any say?
I can, but we've actually had some people come in who were like former servers and stuff like that too. So
To perform?
yeah, to perform.
Okay.
Like once in a while, like we'll bring in our own people for days
Nice.
where we don't have like set scheduled music, and it's pretty cool that people who work there have the opportunity to play there sometimes too. So you get to
Absolutely.
see like both sides of it.
Oh yeah. Like not so much an open mic. I mean, I'm sure there's an audition, but like you can kind of go and be like, can I get on here?
Yeah, absolutely. We've had, I think, like 3 people who actually are like staff members who perform there.
Oh yeah. Nice. And it went well for him.
Yeah, I mean, they came back. So
Cool. Well, no, that's good. I've actually not been up there for any of the live stuff, but every time I go there, it's crazy busy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So, you grew up in Texas,
Yeah, I'm originally from Houston.
Houston.
So,
All your life there till recently, or
I would say I went to culinary school in Austin. So,
Le Cordon Bleu?
at Le Cordon Bleu,
And
yeah.
now it's closed, right?
And now it's gone.
I would talk to Matty yesterday. He went there. I actually went to Le Cordon Bleu in Chicago,
Oh, yeah, nice.
and then what? 5 years now? No, 4 years. It's been closed. 3 years.
I want to say 3. Yeah.
So I always wondered how that worked with the student debt with some guys. Like you go, the school closes, you still got a debt hanging over your head.
Oh, I'm sure you still owe money.
Oh, I'm
There's
sure
no
you
way
do.
getting out
I'm
of that.
sure you do, but it seems kind of silly. It's like
Yeah.
But you still gained a lot of knowledge, I'm sure, at Le Cordon Bleu.
Absolutely.
So you were cooking in Houston prior to. I mean, did you? Because Matt, kind of uniquely, or maybe not so, he went straight, never in a restaurant to Le Cordon Bleu.
No, I was cooking for a little bit before then, but it was more like fast casual kind of stuff. I worked at a local Austin place that had just opened in Houston, and I started cooking at like Alamo Draft House. So
Okay.
it was like one of the first like things that I did to get my feet wet in that.
Nice.
So so that was pretty cool.
And then kind of, I mean, I'm sure restaurants to restaurants kind of thing, and then it led you to Le Cordon Bleu.
Yeah. I was like playing music and stuff on the side, and it was cool that like I had the I guess the opportunity to not have like a 9 to 5 job where I could go and play music some nights if I wanted to and have some weeknights
Kind
off.
of balance, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you're playing what music?
So I was in like a little punk rock band when I was in Houston.
Play guitar, drums, you singing?
I actually played bass for a long time. I played rhythm guitar for a little while also.
Nice.
But yes,
Currently,
not as much as I used to.
you're a busy man.
Now that I'm actually like in a restaurant full time, it's a little bit harder to get that free time as you would. in
But
a
is
shift
that a
position.
passion for? I'm sure it's a passion, but I mean, is it like a passion that's on the back burner that kind of bugs you a bit, or no?
The only time it really bugs me is whenever I go to a lot of shows frequently.
Right,
So
right.
it's like whenever I go to shows and I see other people playing, like once in a while, I'll, like, reminisce about it,
Oh,
and
yeah.
I think about it. I'll see some of the guys that I
A
used
little
to play with.
nostalgic.
Yeah, I'll see some of the guys that I used to play with and like go on tours with and stuff like that on
Yeah.
stage, and we'll talk, have a beer, whatever, and it's cool to see like them doing the same things. But honestly, growing up and I guess changing my lifestyle a little bit from what I used to do,
Right.
I think I've taken the right pathway.
Well, cooking, right, has definitely changed in the last, I don't know, 10 years. But so is with the internet. Music it's so saturated. It's just, I mean, it's hard to become I mean, even professional musicians, I believe, are making their money on the road.
Oh yeah,
And
absolutely.
it's just, they've been kind of decimated by Spotify and even iTunes. Like, those guys aren't really collecting money. I think if you do it wisely, where you're producing yourself, but I think a lot of people are just getting the short end of the stick on that.
Yeah, and I would agree with that too. I mean, I think that's why you see a lot of bands going on like reunion tours and stuff like
Right.
that, and get back together and go touring, because now that's where the money's at.
The touring, right?
The touring, and I think what clubs will like pay guys like that is like enough to like get them through while they're touring and stuff like that, and then the rest of the money they're making off of merch and
Right.
those kinds of things.
Yeah, music is definitely a different beast than it used to be. It grew very rapidly. And then Austin. So you came here and like externship. Did you do that here in Austin, or did you go back to Houston? Or when you did Le Cordon Bleu, did you kind of relocate?
So whenever I did Le Cordon Bleu, I worked at like a fine dining steakhouse also at the same time.
Oh,
And-
come to speak of it, Perry's, right?
No, actually, this is before
Oh,
Perry's.
Before Perry's, okay.
Yeah, so I worked at Joe DiMaggio's Italian Chop House.
Okay, all right.
And over there, it was actually it was in the Domain also.
And the domain.
Yeah, I think there's a True Foods there now. They ended up closing.
Okay, so that location's been a few things because it was
Yeah,
a,
it was
a
Blackfin before that.
Blackfin. Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
I remember that. That was, I guess it was relatively short-lived, but a lot of things are.
yeah.
But so that was there, and you were over there, and then you had said you had gone to Perry's, which is ironically opening across the street from you now.
Yeah, true story, true story. So after working for Joe DiMaggio's, I ended up working for the Papa's company for like 3.5, almost 4 years. And I was a kitchen manager over there, but their system is kind of different. They want you to do like front of the house and back of the house management, so you see
Yeah.
both sides of things.
Right, not giving you the opportunity to shine in
Yeah,
one
and
area.
Yeah, I didn't really have as much like a culinary feel to it. I wasn't really
Yeah.
a chef.
Oh,
I was
yeah.
more managing a kitchen. So
Right.
then I got the opportunity to come up with Perry's Steakhouse.
And Perry's, I hear, is a good place. I mean,
Oh yeah, yeah. I have no complaints about them. I still talk to those guys and stuff too.
well, you're going to
Good
be
guys.
talking to them a lot more.
Yeah,
Right.
I'm gonna go talk to them to get some free pork chops. Is what I'm gonna
Yeah,
do.
there you go. There you go. I mean, kitty corner, right? Right next door.
Oh yeah.
No, that's good. All the guys, I guess, are downtown just getting prepped up, the new team.
Yeah, yeah.
So, yeah, that's good. I'm supposed to be over there tomorrow to kind of touch base with them. But, yeah, that's funny. It's full circle, right?
Yeah.
But, it's interesting. I've seen another flower child pop up in, like, a North. And I would have thought that, like, CDO would be the one. That's just what I thought.
Yeah, I mean, we have different expansion brands that
Right.
they're, I guess, building more of in different places also. So they put another flower child downtown, so one in the Domain and one downtown.
Right.
They put another north downtown,
Right.
as opposed to the first one that was in the Domain. But, I mean, all over the country, they're opening norths and they're opening flower childs also. But
And CDOs, right?
and CDOs, we just opened one in Gilbert, Arizona also. So,
Okay, I
and
thought I
that's-
read something about that.
Yeah, that's the biggest one, so.
Okay, cool. Of all of them, it seems the coolest.
I like to think so.
Well, and yeah, definitely. And I don't. That's why I said I'm surprised I don't see more of them. Seems like with the live music and everything, seems like more, especially in Austin.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know.
I mean, I don't know if they have plans on doing more in Austin, but I'm pretty sure we've got some more spots coming up across the
Nice,
country.
nice. Well, that's cool. So you Perry Steakhouse, and then that didn't go directly to CDO, did it?
Well, from Perry's Steakhouse, I ended up moving to Chicago with Perry's.
That's
So,
awesome.
yeah,
I grew up in Chicago.
yeah. So
We've talked about this a little bit.
yeah. I lived in Chicago for like 2 years. I was working out in Oak Brook, which is kind of the suburbs, but
Yeah.
I lived in the city, kind of like in the hipster kind of area, I guess.
Okay.
So it was kind of cool to be like around some cool bars and stuff like that. So
And this specific podcast is going to be obviously Austin oriented. So like for the record, you could tell everybody in Austin when it's winter and it's like 25 degrees that it's really
that's not winter.
it's not winter. It never is. It may feel cold, but like there is a different type. It's like an evil brisk
Yeah. And I was there during one of the worst ones they had in like 40 years.
with
It was
the
the polar vortex.
polar vortex, right?
Yeah.
That is
Negative 22 degrees one day. I was like,
negative
"Ugh."
22. Negative 22. So we're talking about 25 and then there's negative 22.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah. Crazy stuff.
no, it's definitely crazy. You like go in the walk-in and you warm up.
Yeah. I had grill cooks working in front of a 1,600-degree broiler who are still wearing hoodies in the kitchen.
In the kitchen, just
Yeah, because the
with
return
hoodies on.
the return air is still cold air from outside that
See.
wasn't like heated at the time.
That's Chicago for you.
Yeah.
Right. That's nuts. And it literally would be warmer in the walk-in than it would be if you walked outside.
Yeah, absolutely.
What's nice about that is you can store food out there if you need to, right?
If your walk-in goes down, you can just put everything outside. You'll be fine.
Right. That's definitely true. So Chicago with Perry's. So Perry's is out there.
Yeah. So I helped him open that first one out in Chicago, and I actually opened that as exec sous. So I started with him as a sous chef, and I actually went on a vacation to Chicago, and then I got a phone call while I was out there from.
Like ironically,
Yeah, well,
just happened to happen.
I wouldn't say it was ironically. I think it was strategically planned by them.
Okay. Yeah.
But one of the officers from corporate of the company, he called me up and he's like, "Hey, I heard you're on vacation in Chicago. I was actually going to like a music festival out there." And he was like, "Why don't you just take a look around, see if there's any places you really like out there? And, if, you decide you happen to want to move out there, it's going to be on us because we're opening another location out there.
Oh, nice.
And, we'd like you to be out there for it."
Tough to say no.
It's hard to say no when they're going to take care of that stuff, and you get the experience of opening a new restaurant from the ground up.
Right.
You get to work with brand new equipment.
Oh, yeah,
I'm
that's-
down for that.
That can be exciting at first and a huge headache at the end, I'm sure.
Oh, absolutely,
Both,
all the way
right,
through.
Right. Yeah. Well, that's great experience. So in Chicago, I'm sure you got involved with the music scene a little bit out there.
Oh, I was going to shows nonstop too.
It's the spot for it.
Yeah.
And the food, I guess, just to kind of deviate, like from Austin, I always like the food in Chicago is so good.
Oh yeah.
It's really, really good. And I remember moving here, and there was so many things I heard. You grew up here. So you already, like, I don't know if you would have heard the things I was hearing from moving to Chicago to coming here, but it was like, huge food scene, huge food town. And honestly, when I got here, I was a little let down. I missed home quite a bit.
I think anybody moving anywhere is going to feel like that too.
That's true.
Because whenever
That's
I moved
true.
to Chicago, there was a lot of things that I missed about Austin.
Oh, absolutely, right?
But don't get me wrong. Chicago's got some of the best restaurants in the world there.
Well, I get my family, whenever they go back home to Chicago, 3 weeks in advance, they're all talking about Portillo's,
Oh, yeah.
and nonstop. Then we get off a plane and everybody's, beelines it to Portillo's.
Yeah.
I was like, are we really doing this? Okay. But yeah, no, you're right. Yeah, it's just home, home is where you make it kind of thing.
Yeah, and in Chicago, you can go get great dogs. You can get great fine dining, and you got everything out there. I think Austin is probably a little lacking on like the fine dining.
So Perry's
aspect.
fine dining?
It's upscale. It's like an upscale steakhouse. I wouldn't necessarily consider it like super fine dining, like some of the places in Chicago, but
So that is one thing that I had heard when I was moving here is how casual Austin is. So you come here, and if there is a fine dining restaurant, if you walk in shorts and sandals, you're still getting seated.
Yeah, I mean, in Austin, you can't judge somebody by what they're wearing out here, you know?
Right. So, but that's a different beast in Chicago. If you
Hmm.
walk in with the shorts and they're going to say go home.
Yeah, you can't get into certain bars in Chicago walking down the
So
street.
that's like, yeah, nobody's judging, but is it fine dining or is it fine cooking? Is it like a different kind of classification?
I would just say that it's like an upscale steakhouse. I think it's kind of like its own beast.
Yeah.
It's not really like super fine dining, but I mean, it's very refined table service.
Right.
And you know, the servers and
Little pampering.
bartenders, yeah, they're, I mean, all in like the penguin suits with
Yeah.
bow ties and all that good stuff. So
Oh yeah, making me hungry just thinking about sitting down somewhere like that.
yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah. But CDO is a little bit different of a beast though.
Yeah, it's definitely more casual.
Definitely more casual.
We
but-
like to call it like upscale gastropub type
Okay.
fare.
Cool.
But at the same time, you get the live music, and you know we've got games in the yard outside, so it's kind of got more of an Austin-y vibe, I guess.
It's definitely a hip and happening place. It's got a good vibe to it.
Yeah,
Everything from the color, the decor, everything about it is
yeah, it's just fun.
it's a fun place.
Yeah.
There's no doubt. So yeah, that's good though. But so that's the kind of the progression of the cooking career.
Yeah, I mean, after Chicago, I moved to Denver for a little bit too, but
Denver.
and then I came back here.
How was Denver?
Denver was cool. Also, I was there for about 2 years. Also, same thing with like the Perry's group, and
Cool. So
You know-
yeah, you go back with Perry's.
yeah, did the same thing with them. And then I started working for Richard Sandoval for a little while, who was like kind of a celebrity chef out there, I guess.
Okay.
Um,
Still
and
out there?
He's still out there. He's still got a few restaurants out there. He's got multiple all over the world. I think he's got a deal with like Westin Resorts now or something where he's got quite a few restaurants now.
Nice.
But I did that for a short period of time and then ended up coming back to Austin.
So did you miss the introduction to the legalizing of marijuana out there?
Oh, I was there for that. Yeah.
So did you get any experience cooking any of it?
No, you know, it's crazy. Like the whole time I was there, like I never did any of that stuff.
Yeah.
I was not one to like
Yeah.
smoke
Not-
marijuana or
not your
anything
thing?
like that. It just wasn't me, you know.
Oh yeah, but what the reason I ask is from like the culinary perspective. I mean, if you ever like flip on what is it, Munchies?
Oh yeah.
The things that they're doing with food or just oils and whatever they're doing on that show is next level
So
intriguing and
So I was there before it was legalized and like just for like a short, I guess, period of time afterwards, maybe like 6 months after.
right.
So I don't think people were as involved or like jumped on the train like right
Yeah.
away.
Yeah.
But then, I mean, obviously people were going to visit more and they had bigger tourism and stuff because of it.
Oh yeah, that's
But I don't think like the food shows and all that kind of stuff popped off until a little
so
bit
that's
later.
not something you've put thought into as like a new ingredient that's like gonna be coming into your life sometime, not even so much to eat it to
So I wouldn't do it for like the feeling of it, I guess.
Right, no,
but I
but
mean
for the
like if
cooking-
the flavor was
yeah,
great and I
flavor.
decided that like that fit really well with something,
yeah.
I wouldn't say that I would deny it. You know, I want everything I have to taste the best it possibly could. So
Right, yeah, definitely. Yeah, I just wondered if you had gotten into that at all because some of the stuff, it just seems like a whole new world. But that's Munchie's doing a good job on their show too.
yeah, exactly.
because it's an entertaining one to watch. But so CDO is good and life is good up there. We got the domain and summer's coming, so it's gonna pick up quite a bit, I'm sure.
Yeah, that patio is gonna be rocking again. So
Oh, that's good. Anything crazy coming up soon?
not currently. We do a couple of things like in the summertime. The domain up there has a Taste of North Austin competition that they do. So I think they do that in June. So that might be one thing that we're a part of.
Okay,
But we won that the last time that we did it, which was pretty cool. So
nice.
basically what you do is they just have like little, hand-passed appetizers that we give out to people just passing by, and, they get to vote on what they think is the best food from each restaurant that has a booth set up.
Okay,
And it was pretty cool. So
and that's in
I think it's in June.
June.
Yeah.
Not sure the official date. What's
Yeah,
it? Is it called the
It's the Taste of North Austin.
Taste of North Austin?
Yeah, so they've done it the last couple of years. We haven't gotten any information about it yet, but I'm sure it's going to happen.
Sure. Yeah. Well, we'll mention it, right? we'll mention it here when we're doing these when that's coming,
Yeah,
when the date's
absolutely.
coming up. So we've talked about like Perry's, we've talked about, getting into Denver, you make your way back here. But like if we backtrack a little bit, you're, little Josie and, in Houston, maybe even before all the cooking, like what'd you grow up eating? What was mom and dad making at home?
Oh man, my mom is from Alabama, and I was
Ah,
eating a lot of Southern food.
there we
So
go.
fried chicken, fried catfish, all that kind of stuff. And
So you grew up a little spoiled with
yeah, absolutely.
the Southern loving, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, that's beautiful. So mom was always cooking. She was doing the cooking.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Cool.
My dad is actually he's from Israel, so he's from the Middle East. So
So any influence from there?
yeah, yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm all about Mediterranean food and stuff like that too.
Nice.
So that's a big thing for me also.
Did you get into the cooking? Did you always know? Do you have a feeling? I know you were doing the music a little bit. Did you have it in the back of your head that there was like a passion, a fire, maybe?
I think so. I
Yeah.
mean, like when I was a kid though, like I like the science behind it too, but without really knowing that, I think.
Right. And you're not a baker, right?
No,
Sorry.
not a baker.
Not a baker.
But I always liked, like mixing different things together and seeing how they came out, even when I was like, 7, 8 years old, like in the kitchen with my mom.
Nice.
Just throwing things together and like seeing how it turned out. And obviously when you're 7 or 8 years old, nothing's great. But I mean, you develop flavors from doing that stuff also. So.
Right. Yeah. So you still it was so I'm guessing that occasionally you're making some really badass fried chicken at home. Mom's recipes.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. That and then fried catfish, like I said.
Oh, yeah. With what? Cornmeal or what?
I would use cornmeal for catfish.
Right. Well, what? Salt, pepper, paprika, garlic powder, any of that, or you just
Man, I just like it like straight up cornmeal, salt and pepper. And
simple? Keep it simple, stupid.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
But I mean, that's what I grew up on. So.
Oh yeah. No. That's good eating though. So mom and dad still in Houston?
Yeah, they're still out there. So
Okay, cool.
they've been married for 45 years now. So
Oh, that's excellent. What part of Houston?
like west side between Katy and Memorial.
Okay. Yeah, so they're out there a little bit, a little
Yeah.
country living. That's a good area to be, right? Not
Yeah.
in the thick of it.
Yeah,
you
for
could
them it's
say.
great.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah, that's good. So you get out there still often?
I try to get out there maybe like once every month or two. I like to go fishing with my dad out
Okay.
there. So I mean, that's usually when I try to get out there.
Right. Yeah, that's good, man. You guys cooking the stuff?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh, nice. So that's good. You guys go out there? I'm sure for like Thanksgiving is.
Yeah, I get back for Thanksgiving. I try to get back for Christmas when I can too.
Do you get a break for Thanksgiving, or are you behind the? Are you?
I didn't last Thanksgiving. We actually had a buyout. Mercedes came through and rented the restaurant for like 10 days straight.
Okay.
So last year I did not, but hopefully,
Hopefully
coming up. So.
So if you do, are your folks going to make you cook?
No, absolutely not.
Okay, there you go. And if they do, your answer is no.
I love them to death, but I mean, once you when you do it every day, it's not something that like
That's right.
I'm super stoked about doing in my off time.
So that leads me into something interesting I want to ask you is that you don't. So you go home. Is like all the things you're doing in the kitchen, whatever, organizing Cambros, prepping, all kinds of stuff like that. When you go home, are you still cooking, or do you kind of zone out and just do something real simple?
So in my mind, I'm still cooking.
Yeah.
So I mean, like I've got this weird OCD when I get home, also, where like everything is super organized in my pantry. I mean, like
You should go downstairs.
yeah,
And take care
help
of
you
that.
out.
Yeah.
So it's like my pantry. I try to keep my fridge organized, and my room and my closet at home, living room, all that stuff is like super clean and organized. Just because like I have this mentality where
Right.
you got to be able to eat off of anything.
That's part of being able to like visualize when the shit's about to hit the fan on the line, and you can see the calm, and like you're the eye of the storm kind of thing.
Yeah.
There's other guys that are seeing the tickets come in, they're running for the hills. So
Yeah, if you
that's
don't-
part of that OCD thing.
Yeah, if you don't have a clean and organized station, then like you're gonna constantly be worried about that. You're not gonna be focused on the other things that you got going on. So
Oh yeah. So that bleeds over to the home life. But are you like hit hot oil for making food at home regularly or?
When I'm actually cooking at home, I mean, I still obviously like bring out the mindset of I'm gonna make something taste as best
Yeah.
as I possibly can. The only difference is the amount that I work, and it's crazy because I've seen it on like cooking, shows on TV and stuff like that. But it's like if you look at my refrigerator, it's like almost empty.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
it's because I'm never there, like
Right,
I'm
yeah.
always at the restaurant, and if I need something,
It's true.
if I decide that I'm gonna like make a big dinner and have some people over or whatever, like I try to just buy enough stuff for that one dinner, but it's so hard to do, like
It is very difficult.
yeah, I mean, if you want to get like rosemary, just enough for like one recipe, you're buying like I don't know, a couple ounces at a time, but it's
Right.
still way more than you'd ever use, so it's gonna
Right.
sit in your refrigerator for a couple months.
So no gardening going on when you say something like that, because I have a rosemary plant out back, and a few herbs I have. It's been so nice.
See, I thought about that just because like rosemary just seems really easy to me, actually.
Well, it's like it grows like a weed down here.
Yeah.
So and it's the one I have out back specifically. Everything in my garden at one point or another has completely died. In fact, right now it's basically that way.
Yeah.
Except for some oregano that's popped back up, and the rosemary is just like full throttle all the time, and it's real like moist and it's beautiful.
Yeah, and if you notice, like sometimes like just walking in front of Whole Foods like bushes outside are like rosemary plants,
Yeah.
In front of the Driscoll downtown, they have like rosemary bushes outside.
Right, right.
I'm just gonna start stealing stuff from
You
them
could
and
do
stop
that.
ordering.
You could do, well, if you take a walk around this neighborhood specifically, there's rosemary growing. None of it looks as good as I'm not. I think it's the soil I used, but
Yeah.
it's real good looking in the backyard. But yeah, you could definitely do rosemary, and then that ingredient you would
Yeah, at
need
least
to
that
order.
one, right?
Yeah, at least that one.
But it's like stuff like, I don't know, shallots and, it's like the stuff that you're only going to use a little bit of here and there.
Yeah, it can be tricky, right?
Yeah, it's crazy for me to like buy all that stuff all the time to like put together these intricate meals,
Oh, right, right. So are you I know you're working a lot, and then when you're getting home, you kind of you keep it simple for the most part. Maybe a little minimalism going on there.
Yeah, I mean, it depends if I have somebody over or something like that, then I don't mind like cooking a meal, but I mean, if it's just me for the most part, I'm ordering Domino's, man. Like,
Yeah, there you go.
It is what it is. I'm not gonna lie about it.
All right. Well, hey man, a good healthy dose of carbs is never a bad thing for anybody.
Yeah,
Unless you're doing
not
it
on
every
any
day.
diets.
But so Domino's, are there any places that you've discovered that you can share? I'm assuming, right, the audience that will be listening to this will be in the industry,
Yeah.
and where are the places that you have found that are just worthwhile? And I don't know, maybe it's Domino's.
Yeah. I mean, that's when I'm lazy. But if I'm like gonna go out somewhere, I mean, I go eat at Casino El Camino all the time.
Oh, see,
For me, it's like I go there to get burgers, and
I think that's going to be a common reference here
I'm
because
sure it
people,
will be.
yeah, people like those guys cooking.
Yeah.
They don't play. They cut the shit. Tell us what you want. Let's go.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just some sweaty guys in tank tops back
And
there.
they're cool. That's Zach still down there.
Yeah, actually, it's funny that you mentioned that because Zach is in like a punk rock band also.
Cool.
If we're talking about the same Zach, I think.
Yeah. I mean, he's in the kitchen back there.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
like
yeah.
the manager, I guess you could say.
Yeah, so it's like I'll see these guys like play shows and like run over to Casino El Camino and then like get ready for their shift and start cooking. It's crazy.
Yeah. That's. But how you can't get much more punk rock than that.
No, that's true.
That's true.
I
And they're
mean,
making badass food, right?
Yeah, I was doing the same thing when I was a kid too.
No, it's
just in
great.
a different way.
That's great. Yeah, Zach is he's always been a cool guy. But I've asked that question before, and that's been an answer. So people.
Yeah, I mean it's just on my mind because I went there last night also.
Oh, did you? Did you? Any other like I guess I'm calling them like little gems because like Casino El Camino is not like
It's
well,
not
you
little
got to go to
anymore, right?
Trulux and get this.
Yeah, no, I mean, there's a place I really like also that actually I went to this morning called Blue Dahlia Bistro.
Oh yeah.
On the east side over there.
On
a little
11th
bit.
Street.
Yeah, it's not
Oh.
too far away. And for me, I don't think a lot of people know about it. I mean, every time I go,
They got one in Westlake too, and actually all the way out in Lockhart.
Yeah, actually, I heard about that.
Yeah.
But I think those had to have opened up pretty recently, right?
I don't know how old the Lockhart location is, but at least a year.
Yeah.
I don't know how old, but so you like Blue Dahlia?
Yeah, I mean,
It's a good spot, right?
It's complete opposite from Casino El Camino, though.
Right.
But I mean, you go
East
there.
Side, generally speaking, has got some really nice places
Yeah.
for food, and I think that this time, during this specific time period on the East Side there, you see all the development happening, and it's gonna get real congested over there real quick.
Oh, yeah.
and it's gonna change. But right now, we're at this like real sweet spot. Like you can walk up and down, literally never get in a vehicle, and like I mean, if you don't, completely fill your gut up. You can eat at the greatest places.
Yeah, you can find anything you want over there.
It's a good spot, and
You used to not want to walk around down there.
that's right. We were talking about that last night too. It used to be like drugs, prostitution.
Yeah.
You
Worry if your car is going to get broken into. All sorts
And
of
now
stuff.
there's basically a domain going up on like 4th Street. Have you
Yeah.
seen that?
Yeah, it's crazy.
It is crazy, especially with how rapid things get built around here.
Mm-hmm.
So I haven't had any I haven't heard or done any investigating as to what restaurants will be in there, but I'm assuming some more mainstream, bigger names.
Sure. I mean, I don't know what's going to be in there, but I'm probably going to stick to the staples that are already around there.
Oh yeah,
I mean, I'm sure I'll try some stuff once that place gets up and going, but I mean, there's so much good stuff over there already.
it's nuts.
Yeah, Culinary Tatsuya. I don't know if you've been over there
Very
yet.
good food, yeah.
Yeah, that place is awesome.
Have you been over to Bento Picnic at all? It's
I've-
interesting. It's across from Juice Land on Cesar Chavez.
I've heard about it, but I haven't been there.
Okay, cool. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. And down the street from there is now the crew there, Jacoby's and Griselda's. I've
Yeah.
never been there. It's an interesting spot because I think it's more for like events and like weddings. Have you heard of?
I've heard of Jacoby's and Griselda's, but I haven't.
As a restaurant is.
Yeah. I mean,
Okay.
Jacoby's is like American fare and like steak and stuff. I think, right?
Yeah, it's a really interesting spot to go over.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing. Everything's got its own real unique vibe on the East Side right now.
Yeah, it's almost like a building that's like a warehouse or something, right? Like it used to be.
Yeah, it's
something
super
else.
funky. And across the street, they opened Griselda's, and it's the same owners.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited there's a guy who was working at Griselda's, and he left there to kind of follow his sort of dream, and which is him and his wife. They were recently married. She's going to start making charcuterie plates for like delivery. So it's kind of interesting. You could see how that could be like real boutique, like on a nice wood platter, and then it gets delivered locally, obviously.
Yeah.
So I mean, he's just going to hit it hard. He quit working over there. He's doing that.
That's crazy.
It is crazy. But speaking of like kind of like following our future or like following some passions here, you said you chose the right path with the cooking, and maybe not going to pick up the bass or the rhythm guitar or anything anytime soon.
Well, I mean,
You still play?
I say that, but I still pick it up once in a while, and
Yeah.
I play.
How can you not, right?
Just same kind of setup like you got out here.
Yeah.
I'm-
Well, you
I'm
heard me
playing at
when
home.
I'm always doing that. When
Yeah.
Just a little free time, just messing around.
Yeah, that's what I do too. Like I just pick it up once in a while and mess around and stuff. But I try to learn a little bit more about guitar because, like I told you earlier, like I've played rhythm guitar and stuff like that. But I always try to get a little bit better at everything that I do.
It's I don't know if you use the Instagram or anything, but if you ever get on there and look up the guitar players, the talent that we can see now because everything's available to
Yeah,
see is
everything
people
is
are
shared.
insane.
Yeah, it's crazy.
There's like 9-year-olds who are demolishing what I will ever be able to do.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
up and down the neck like a breeze.
Yeah, there's like 9-year-olds demolishing like musicians that we grew up like idolizing.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's nuts.
They're playing Stevie Ray Vaughan better than Stevie Ray Vaughan played.
Really?
It's crazy.
Yeah, I had. I watched a video where they like blindfolded this 9-year-old. He's from like Australia, and they had this crazy good guitar player, professional guitar player, and he just started, playing something really technical, and the kid's blindfolded. He said, "I'll play that." He just played it right away.
Yeah, it's amazing.
It is amazing. So, do you have any kind of maybe projects or any like, what's the future plan? I mean, you happy doing CDO? You gonna stick there? I mean, see what grow with the company. I mean, you were at Perry's for a bit, and that worked really well for you.
Yeah, yeah, and that was great too. You know, I made a lot of connections out there and stuff. And you know, if it wasn't for doing all that, I wouldn't be in the position that I'm in at Culinary Dropout.
Right. It's a constantly changing, industry, and
Yeah.
I mean, Perry's is opening next to you. I guess you specifically with, how they might open a new CDO somewhere. I guess you really don't know if you're going to stick around the company where your path might go.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I don't know where it would take me, staying with this restaurant group. But I mean, I love what I do right now.
That's
You know?
great.
It's like it's a perfect fit for me.
Nice.
You know, I mean, like I said, with the background that I have with like music and all that stuff, it's like all that stuff that I used to enjoy doing is like blended together now.
It's a mishmash of your passions.
Yeah, yeah.
That's like luck, right?
Yeah,
I call it luck, but it's good. Maybe it's meant to be.
yeah. I mean, I don't know how lucky it is because it's kind of funny, like the way the opportunity came up to me. Also, I was living in Denver at the time, and I had a recruiter hit me up from True Foods,
Okay.
which
Yeah.
used to be a part
Used
of
to be, but
Fox Restaurants.
it's now just a separate entity.
No, I want to say like another restaurant group bought it out,
Okay,
like
yeah.
P.F. Chang's family or something.
Okay.
But I could be wrong on that. Don't quote me.
I've heard great things about True Foods, though.
It's great. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But what happened is like they reached out to me and wanted to see if I'd be interested in coming out to Arizona where their headquarters is to do a
Right.
stage out there and see how I liked it and see if they thought that I might be a good fit for them also for I think an exec sous position is what it was at the time. And I went out there and I did it, and they wanted to like offer me a position and all that good stuff, but I was just blatantly honest with them, and I was like, I really appreciate the opportunity. Like, this is a great establishment. You guys have great food, great attention to detail, great quality, all that stuff. But I mean, I'm not a super like healthy guy.
Oh yeah.
And I mean,
So when you did that, were you a little nervous that you might return something important down that maybe you might regret? Or
oh, don't get me wrong, I had like doubts about what I was thinking also.
but you were being honest with yourself too.
Yeah, it just didn't feel like me.
A little leap of faith.
Yeah. And I did a tasting out there and all that stuff, and I thought about it and I was like, it's a big step, and I do want to move back to Austin and all this stuff, but it just doesn't feel like me. Like I'm used to cooking with a ton of butter and fats and all that stuff, and like
So
I'm
you
all
said
about flavor
not
over
the healthy, not into the healthy, because True Foods kind of prides himself on that, right?
Yeah, that's a big part of it for sure.
And that's why I said I've heard really good things. So, but that's interesting because I mean I love throwing I always buy the Kerrygold butter. I'm like a butter snob. And I just want it to be good and buttery, and like I'll throw the kielbasa bacon in the oven like nightly.
Yeah.
And I don't really care. It just tastes delicious. But me personally, I do. I mean, just my personal thing. I try and eat, some vegetables here and there. But it sounds like maybe just kind of enjoy food for what it is, right? And do your thing.
Don't get me wrong. It's not that I like don't eat vegetables or anything,
Right?
But I guess I value like flavor, and like to me, like quality of life means I'm like enjoying myself with whatever I'm doing.
Yeah.
And food is a big part of my life, so I want to be sure that I'm enjoying like every second that I'm eating it.
Right.
And it's not.
Well, you can make very delicious like asparagus and stuff with a bunch of butter.
Yeah, I mean,
and that's vegetable.
And I'm still eating vegetables. It's true.
Yeah.
But I mean, like for me, like it's all about flavor, and I'm fortunate enough to where like, I mean, I might be gaining a few pounds now, getting older, but I haven't.
That's
really been
inevitable.
Too
Yeah, that's inevitable. I mean, we're all going to slow down a little bit, but if you're enjoying what you're doing, and that's what you said. I mean, food's a big part of your life, right?
Yeah.
I've heard it. I don't know what the saying is, but like, never trust a skinny chef. But like somebody who's like,
people tell me that all the time.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, you are skinny, but I mean, like, it sounds like you're not shy about just eating kind of whatever. Your metabolism you can afford it.
Yeah.
which you're fortunate. Yeah. I mean, like, but you're also working and active, and who knows if you were sitting in front of a computer all day and miserable. Well,
It might be a different story.
might be a different
I'm
story.
on my feet like 10 to 11 hours a day.
So you're on your feet 10 hours, 11 hours a day. You go home. You said you have a girlfriend who's not far from here.
Yeah, yeah. She lives just north of.
So you guys aren't living together.
No.
Okay. So when you go home, you're not. Is she cooking?
Once in a while.
Does
Once
she
in a
get the?
But see, she's the opposite of me though. She's like the healthy one.
Oh yeah.
So
She's
she's the one
steaming the
like
broccoli.
making healthy food and stuff like that, and she actually does a good job.
Yeah.
The problem is like everybody thinks that because I'm a chef, like I'm gonna judge like and critique everything they do.
Yeah.
But realistically, like anytime somebody cooks for you, man, I mean like they put like love into it, whenever you're at home,
So she's cooking for you.
Once in a while.
Well, okay. You're
Once
cooking
in a while,
for her,
I
though,
cook
right?
for her too. You know?
Okay, yeah. But I'm asking, and not to like get into, it doesn't have to be negative, but a lot of times when you're cooking and like we're working on holidays, you were working late hours, we're working when the girlfriends, it's like the schedules don't line up because when you're in the industry, it's a different beast, and it takes I guess the right person to get that.
Yeah, yeah. Or you got to be in the industry also.
Or you got to be in the industry. Is she or no?
Yeah, I mean on the other side of things, though, like
Okay.
front of the house.
So
stuff.
she completely sympathizes or understands, and
Yeah.
well, that's good. That's a very good balance, right? But you said. So I wanted to make this like situation here real community oriented, and obviously there's not any kind of serious following right now. But I had put out a question of just what do you want to hear me ask people, and you kind of touched on something. A girl I put it on Facebook. Her name's Tracy, and she asked, "So if you're a chef and you're going out to a restaurant and you sit down and you eat, do you like?" Look at the plate and pick it apart and say, "Oh," and she specifically said, "Oh, they should have had a mint leaf there." Or, are you judging things like that? Was how the way she put it, but like, because you kind of just said that you're not judging food, but like even myself, I don't cook for a living, but like I sort of sit down and I'm sure you assess every situation, right?
So yes and no.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the thing. Like sometimes, whenever it's somebody who's cooking for you at home, it's a different story.
Okay, so we're talking about home.
Yeah,
so.
and I'm not judging like anything that they do. Like I understand.
If somebody makes you food at home, you better eat it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you don't
Absolutely.
say I'm not eating that. That's like you.
Whether it's good or not, it doesn't matter.
And we need to teach that to my 5-year-old. But what about going out to eat though?
So going out to eat is a different story, I think, because it's kind of a different monster. It's like what you would do in that situation, I guess.
Right.
And it's not. I mean,
you can't help yourself, but
you can't help yourself to think like about what could have been done differently to make something like more than what it is, or like I guess
elevate it.
Yeah, I guess a little more elevated than what it is that you're getting. And it's not like I don't like to like point those things out or like critique while like I'm on a date or something like that.
Oh, of course not. Well, that's like the ultimate
but
like turn off, right?
Yeah, but I mean like if I'm out with like another person who's like, another chef friend or something like that, and we sit there, I mean we're probably sitting there talking about it and like pulling things apart. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, yeah, no, absolutely, right. But that's how you think, right? It's like almost an exercise. You're gonna go see what it's whether you want to call it the competition or it's just kind of like a way to flex your brain, see what they're doing.
I mean, and it's not always a negative thing. I mean, and sometimes we're like pulling things apart and like critiquing them, I guess. But it's more like, man, like how did they do this? Like I want to know like what they did to like create this product.
You got any examples of that? Like where you specifically like if you just jog your memory a little bit when you've gone anywhere, because we've got some good food around here. But I mean, and maybe you can't think of anything, but if you can.
Well, I mean, I can definitely tell you times like when I was in like Chicago and stuff like that. Whenever I've gone places, I'm going to like Michelin star restaurants in Chicago.
Right.
I went to Alinea out there.
Yeah.
Spending a ton of
carpeted
money.
kitchen floors. Did you know that?
Yeah. Crazy.
That's some pressure. You know, someone had mentioned the restaurant, Michelin star restaurants, you know, because they exist, but there's nothing here.
Yeah.
And someone, you know, this was actually Chef Austin from Hotel Ella. He brought this up as kind of like something that bothered him, and he's not pessimistic. Pessimistic. He's a real positive guy, but he was just kind of saying, maybe as like something to touch base on, is the fact that there isn't any kind of results in like, and I'm sure you've seen this being in your position as an executive chef and managing, you know, your staff, that a line cook will come through the door and they just don't have the passion at all, or they kind of maybe think that obviously we're not throwing anybody under the bus here specifically, but we're just talking about in general, maybe because there's no Michelin star restaurant, there's nothing to actually aspire to here to make you bust your ass on day one every day, clock in on time, be, you know, station clean, you know, sanitation bucket nearby, whatever it is, temperatures all set in place.
You know, I I would disagree with that. I mean, and just because I mean, there are some great restaurants here that you could totally like get your foot in the door to do something like that, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like as, you know, some like young up and comer like going into a kitchen, like if they have that mindset, why couldn't they have the mindset that they're going to be the first one to open a Michelin star restaurant in Austin?
That's a good
You
point.
know?
That's a good
It's
point.
like there's great places to do that. Look at
In
like
fact,
Emmer
it's an
and Rye.
opportunity, right?
Yeah, look at Emmer and Rye. Look
Yeah.
at like Laundrette and
Laundrette, yeah.
you know, all these like great restaurants that are like popping up, and maybe they don't have Michelin stars, but I mean, they're definitely places where you can learn and grow.
They've won
and,
awards, right? Just
yeah,
recently, Emmer and Rye, and I think last year the bakery or pastry chef at Laundrette, right? She was up for the James Beard,
yeah, yeah.
or she won
And,
the James Beard.
and then the guys at the place Culinary Tatsuya that I was telling you about,
Okay.
like they were up for a James Beard also. It's
Okay,
like,
cool. And what was with Emmer and Rye recently? I read something.
oh, I can't remember.
Okay, I'll
the,
have to
the
check
name.
that out.
I mean, and we actually had a chef from our company who ended up leaving to go to Emmer and Rye just to like get back into cooking again, and he just wanted to be a line cook at Emmer and Rye and like build his knowledge and stuff like that. Which to me, like,
Yeah.
you know, it's sad to see somebody go, but at the same
It's
time,
inspiring, right?
yeah, it's like, man, that's awesome that like
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
willing to like drop down to a cook's salary just to get back into doing exactly what he loves, you know?
Oh yeah. Well, there's something that happens to you when you're given all these responsibilities. It takes your mind off of maybe these little things. Like sometimes we're focused on this and this and this, and then it kind of makes you just average at everything.
Yeah.
But if somebody says that's the line, that's you. You know, you get to work, and you can't focus on that and you know the rent, and you just are focused on you know
Yeah.
the temp, and everything's got to be just right.
That's a great point too. Yeah.
But it's and I love your answer that you disagreed, and that's true. It's actually because there's no Michelin star. It's like the opportunity for
Yeah.
someone who sees a vision. It's like I'll be the first.
Yeah.
That's true, and that's why I love, you know, the idea of having conversation and different perspectives of, because you know I thought he had a really good point, but I want him to hear that. That'll be interesting, right? But he, at the same time, may be doing what you're doing with music, is sort of like reminiscing a little bit. You know what I mean? When you go see a show, you know, little bit. I missed that. You know what I mean? I miss plugging in and cranking it up with some buddies. It's like a little release. I mean, it's nostalgia.
Yeah.
He might be doing the same thing because he said, you know, the pressure, just like the cook left to go work at Emmer and Rye on the line.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's at Hotel Ella, and maybe he's just not feeling the pressure, and maybe it's something he needs.
Yeah. I mean, whenever I want to like feel the pressure and stuff like that again, then I'll tell a cook to step off the line and just start working their station.
I absolutely figured you'd say something like that, because CDO is no joke. It is.
Oh yeah, I've
Very-
got my butt kicked on multiple stations there.
I've definitely been there. You just call it the morning after.
Yeah.
And I've just seen kind of the remnants of, you know, some looked like a war had taken place.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
But you guys get the, you know, frequent buyouts, and that's kind of a break for you, right? If the restaurant gets bought out, typically you're not working as much, right?
I mean, it depends on what you're doing in the restaurant. For me personally, I work a lot of mornings, so if I work a morning shift, then I might be working a later shift.
Are you a night owl? Are you, does the mornings work well for you?
I mean, I hardly sleep, to be honest with you. So
Really?
yeah, I don't sleep a lot. I mean,
Does
I'll
that bother you, or you just kind of roll with it? You just kind of accept it, because
I've just accepted it and kind of dealt with it.
and maybe like, what does your girlfriend think about that? Just because she's focused on health, and they do say sleep is like critically important.
Well, I say that I don't sleep, but at the same time, it's like I'll get home and I'll fall asleep at like 11 p.m.
Yeah,
and I'll be like out cold for a few hours, and I have to wake up at like 4:30, 5 o'clock to be at work. So it's
you
like I'm
hear
only getting
that's
like 5 hours, maybe something like that, 5 or 6 hours.
4:30, right?
Yeah, yeah,
And people don't know.
yeah. I don't think people realize it, but I mean, like what we do, it's necessary. You know, we've got
And then you said 10, 11 hours on your feet. You know, it's
yeah, we've got bakers who come in at 5 o'clock in the morning who are
oh,
making
yeah,
all the breads. You know, like every hamburger that you have or every sandwich that you have, all that bread's been made in house that day.
right,
You know, everything is fresh. It's crazy.
yeah, yeah. So it's definitely true. So you guys, I'm just kind of gonna randomly go back to, you got the family in Houston. Because I just was thinking about, you're talking about the burgers, but burgers, we've got this, everything comes, Texas is huge. So what I'm kind of getting at is the stuff there kind of locally sourced? Is that a thing?
Some stuff is, and then we try to bring some things in when we can. Like I'm always talking to my, produce guy and stuff like that, and he's trying to, get us to try like local honeys and butters and stuff like that. Even though they're a produce company, they do that stuff also.
Yeah.
So once in a while, we'll bring in some stuff and try it out and see how it works with what we're doing, and if it's something that we like, we'll stick to.
So did I kind of like cover the basis of what you're into, as far as like you're like into the music? We weren't recording. You had just gone to Bouncing Souls last night.
Yeah.
Last night. So you get like the punk rock kind of scene.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I mean, when I was a kid, I had like a foot tall mohawk and like studded jacket and all that crazy stuff.
Where is it? What happened?
I
You
still-
fit right in here,
I
right?
still got all that stuff in my
Right.
parents' house back in Houston.
Yeah.
They hold on to all that stuff, It's
Yeah.
like memories for them of my crazy childhood, I guess. But
Yeah.
yeah, back then I was, I went on tours with bands and stuff like that too. And
That's good fun, right?
yeah, it was a lot of fun, but I couldn't do it now, I'll tell you that.
Yeah. Well, you could if yeah.
I could. It wouldn't
If
be
you're-
comfortable.
Right. Yeah.
Sleeping in vans and, cramming like 15 guys in a hotel room and everybody sleeping on the floor.
Oh yeah.
It's not my style anymore.
But hey, that's kind of shaped you into where this Culinary Dropout is like the shoe-in fit, for you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? As a chef, the life you've led, just that right there. Being on tour, sleeping on floors, mohawk.
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
kind of I don't know. It's kind of almost it's a relief to know that you're the one in the back of CDO. You know what I mean? It's like it's
Yeah.
not some kind of facade.
No, yeah, for me it's not. No.
All right, they picked the right guy. But was there any other thing in between, coming up in Houston and like, the music scene? Anything else that you were like really into? I mean, you said you fish, but like, any other kind of hobbies? Anything you and your girlfriend are into? I mean, we're in Austin. I don't know what you guys are doing.
I mean, for me personally, like I like classic cars. I mean, I like motorcycles,
Oh,
all
yeah.
sorts of stuff. I got a '65 Mustang that I've been working on for a long time. So
Nice.
yeah,
That'll keep you busy.
yeah, and it'll keep me broke too.
Yeah, but that's. So, would you do that on your time off, or?
Yeah, once in a while, like. I mean, I'm always in there like tinkering with it and stuff, but I bought it when I was like 26 and I'm 33 now, so it's been a few years, but
You got a timeline on it? It's just kind of a project.
I mean,
ongoing.
it runs.
Okay.
I used to, I mean, I've driven it back and forth from here to Houston a few times,
Yeah.
and it looks nice. Still got a great paint job.
Did you get that kind of? Was that something you picked up from your dad, the car thing, or just?
I mean, my dad worked in that industry for a while.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he was a mechanic for a while, and he was selling cars and stuff too. So.
Have you ever been across from Billy's on Burnett? There's that automotive shop there over there. It's not on Burnett. It's if you're not sure what I'm talking about, it's you. You probably haven't seen it,
No.
but I'll have to get the name for you because I can't think of it. But if you just drive by there, they've got all these crazy cars out front, and they're not classic cars. They're They're very interesting. I don't even know how to describe them, but it's a sight. It's worth stopping and checking it
Huh.
out.
Well, in Houston, they had like the art car parade and stuff like that.
Okay. In
That they,
Chicago, they have the auto show and all that stuff. Did you do
yeah.
that?
I didn't get a chance to do any of that stuff.
Yeah, Chicago's. Yeah, you do something in Chicago, it's like a huge event.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I kind of really enjoy that about Austin, right? There's not so much. It is congested and it's a very busy, but we still feel like we're in a small town,
Yeah.
especially comparatively, like when you're talking about Houston.
Mm-hmm. But and I think like going back to what we were talking about before, whenever you're saying, you know, people kind of like, you know, thinking that there's never going to be like a Michelin star restaurant here and stuff like that. You know, it's like Austin kind of has like a different pace than the rest of the country, you know? And
It does.
Not everybody yet is like in tune with, you know, super fine dining and, you know, like elite stuff like that, I guess, you know? And I'm sure eventually it's going to happen. I don't think it's a never. There's so many people moving.
I haven't been here, and I haven't. But you've grown up close enough to here. But like, I'm sure you've heard. I mean, this used to like the river. You know, this used to be the live music capital. Like, this is actually like just like a destination for bands to just come play live and just like.
Yeah, I mean, I used to do it, and when I was like 17, 18 years old, I was taking road trips out here just to see bands play.
And do you think that I mean, live music capital of the world has kind of like faded into the background a little bit?
Definitely, yeah. I
'Cause
mean, Austin's known for like traffic now.
it's
That's crazy. But
I absolutely hate talking about traffic, but it's so crazy that it's very easy to start talking about it because it's
and going on a rant and getting upset, but it's not worth it. Don't do it.
It's not worth it. But it is it's like the reason is because you can never really digest like what's happening. Like, it's grown so rapidly.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff happening, but no live, and I feel that too. But like, my brother's out in New Orleans, and like, I don't understand how that doesn't have the right of live music capital of the world, because every time you turn around the corner, there's a band playing. It doesn't really matter what time of day it is.
Well, I think it used to be that way in Austin too.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, whenever I first moved here, though, it was a completely different story. I lived in a 2-bedroom apartment, paying $600 a month in rent,
and what would you pay for a 2-bed that same apartment right now? Do you think? What's a guess?
probably like 1,600.
1,600.
Yeah.
And then, you know, everything else has risen in price. And then during that time, you would walk around the corner and see a band playing.
Yeah.
Which is like, you really can't beat that kind of life or just living in that.
Yeah.
And then now you're paying, you know, triple the amount almost, and you walk outside and it's like standstill traffic. Somebody swerves and cuts you off, and you drop your eggs. You know, it's just crazy.
It's not the same. I mean, you know, Austin, I think, used to be a lot like smaller town with a somewhat big city feel going downtown, just because how many bars and live music venues there were, and there's constantly somebody playing with their doors open, you know?
Yeah. We get that on 6th Street still.
Yeah, on 6th Street still, and, you know, on the east side also, there's cool places like...
Yes, that's true.
The White Horse is cool, you
so
know?
it's maybe kind of, you know, compressed itself, and almost like 6th Street, and then bleeded onto the east side there.
Yeah, I mean...
Into like a line, right?
Yeah, it's just a line now,
Yeah.
I think.
It's not kind of spread out all over the place.
Yeah.
Which is interesting, but you are right. The East Side's got a lot of good things going on, right?
Yeah.
It's got the food, and it's got at the nighttime you drive down there. That they do still have a bunch of stuff going on down there.
Yeah, I mean, I think to me the East Side is kind of what like Austin used to be.
Mm-hmm. Which is interesting because it's like what it used to be on the East Side is polar opposite of what Austin is.
Yeah, because over there you have like a lot of, you know, up and coming bands who are playing at like the Volstead or Hotel Vegas and stuff like that. And
Okay, yeah.
you have nice restaurants popping up here and there, and they put like a fancy ramen tatsuya over there and all that. You know?
Right.
I mean, there's a lot of good stuff over there now, and it's, you know, it's all stuff that reminds me of what Austin like used to be known for.
Yeah, and I guess maybe that used to, or like it reminds me kind of thing is like it is what it is, and you're getting a little older, and it seems it's just a progression, and that's what it is, and you've got memories.
Yeah, I'm turning them to my dad complaining about the young kids nowadays.
Hey man, I mean, South by Southwest. That's a different beast. When
See, I used to come when I lived in Houston at South by Southwest, and have a killer time, and every year it just gets more congested and a little bit worse, and
the
there's
congestion was all. We're out in South Austin right now, and the congestion was all the way out here.
yeah,
And I saw it clear as day. It's like you could see it
yeah,
growing
believe
before
it.
your eyes.
Yeah.
So, but it's good and it's bad. I mean, it's growing so quickly. Just around this area, there's all kinds of, and it begs to, because there's not a lot of good food down south here, unless you can tell me of anything.
I've heard of a couple places. I mean, you've probably been to Valentina's, right?
I haven't been there. It's right down the street, which is sad that I haven't been there.
Yeah.
But I've heard great things about that.
Yeah, you got to go with Valentina's.
Okay, yeah. No, I heard it's excellent.
Yeah, I didn't know about it until like recently, and I'm like behind the eight ball on this one too. But yeah, got to go.
So there you go. There's one. That would be like a really solid suggestion. They've opened like a Southside Flying Pizza, and like once I saw that, I was like, oh, it's coming. It's spreading down here. Like we're gonna see things happen. But right around the corner, in areas you wouldn't think, there's apartment complexes popping up, and there's a bar opening down the street, and it's kind of the feeling that all the growth is just kind of like gonna fill out all the way to here, and this will just kind of feel like part of downtown shortly.
Yeah, eventually it will. Man, I'll tell you, I almost bought a house in like 2008, on the east side of Austin at like 10th and Chacon, something like that.
Yeah.
For like $140,000.
How did the house look? Because there's a lot of real crappy looking houses.
Oh no, this is like a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom, recently remodeled.
Yeah.
Like nice looking
2010?
place. Like 2008.
8, okay.
Yeah, and I almost did it. Like 100. It was like between 140, 160,000. I can't remember exactly, but now, I mean, that's probably like triple the price.
Oh yeah.
At least. I mean, just the land alone is worth twice that much.
Oh yeah. No, that's true. That's 100% true. It's crazy. You wish you did it?
Yes and no.
Yeah.
I mean, money wise, like, yeah, it would have been great, but at the same time, I probably would not have traveled and opened these different restaurants that I did in Chicago and Denver and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And
you could have rented it out, I mean,
yeah, that's what everybody says too, but I don't know.
Well,
To me,
we
like
have-
doing that and like working,
Yeah, I guess
10-hour
managing-
days, 6 to 7 days a week when you're opening a place.
Yeah, I guess it might be hard to. You might not have progressed in the way you did if you
Yeah,
were worried about a property back in Austin.
Yeah, to be honest with you, I would be scared, I think, to make that jump. I don't know if I would have done it.
There's a guy at True Foods right now. He used to be at 24. His name's Joseph. He owns a house over here, South Austin, and he's doing he's moving to Denver with the True Foods kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I said the same thing. I said, well, keep it. And he said, well, no, I'm going to sell it. But
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I would have like had the time or the energy to rent out a place. Also, I guess there's companies that do that for you, but I don't know.
right. Well, it still involves you, right?
Yeah.
It's not all done. Yeah. So you could have been, stuck over on the east side slaving, but you probably, I don't know, if you took that path, who knows what had happened?
Yeah.
You'd be on the east side in that house, like, should I sell this thing and cash out for $10 million?
I don't know about 10 million, but who knows with
No, but-
everything that they're building over there.
Yeah, and there's some beautiful, beautiful houses in the middle of neighborhoods where they're all run down, and then you'll come across this like marvel of like futuristic looking home, and it's like, oh, so that's what's going to come next to
Yeah.
it's going to real quickly gentrify, and it's
See that? I mean, that kind of stuff makes me sad too.
it
like
is sad. You got people living down there who live here and they can't afford to live here anymore,
Yeah.
and it's like they plant the seed there, and it's like when you see that house, you know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And when they have that kind of domain-esque structure, and they've, from what I understand, that when I say domain-esque, it's apartments upstairs, shops and restaurants downstairs, parking and stuff. I don't know how close to the domain it's going to be, but that's right across from like native hostels. You've seen it.
Yeah.
But that itself, like just that and all the jobs that will go in there and all the homes that are down there by the train tracks, like
Yeah.
you see how run down they are. but it
Yeah,
kind of adds it like if New Orleans, suddenly they started ripping everything down and putting up, nice, beautiful homes, you'd go, whoa, 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 whoa. What are
yeah,
you doing? What are you doing to our country?
yeah.
Yeah, this is.
I actually went to New Orleans not that long ago, also. But I mean,
You've been
I
there before?
I'd been there before, but it was more so just like passing through. Um,
What's your opinions on New Orleans?
I mean, I love New Orleans, but I mean, I
Love
go there not just for the music, but for the food
for
too.
the food.
Yeah.
That's like why you go there.
Yeah, I mean, I would like eat until I made myself sick, like everywhere I went.
My my brother is down there. His girlfriend always is getting me little gifts. She runs Preservation Jazz Hall, and I don't know if you've been there, but if you ever go there again, you need to go.
I wanted to go. I was on my list of things to do, but the line is
So
crazy.
that line, she literally just walks me, my daughter's on my shoulders, and she's like, "Come on," and we just walk right past the line, and she's like, "Here you go," and we just stand in the back and watch, and it's you can't describe it. It's almost like you feel like you're watching a ghost film because there's so much history in that room. Like they haven't changed anything. It's just this old room with the reverbs bouncing off the walls the way it has there for however many years.
See, I love that stuff. For
Oh yeah.
me, like, I don't know. I guess some people would say that I have like an old soul or something like that. But it's like, for me, I love old architecture. I love like older cars. I love older music. Um, and so like going to New Orleans and stuff, they have like all their like building fronts like preserved by the city. Like you have to like they have an ordinance saying that you have to keep it like it was in like 1880 or
And you can't beat it, right? It's
yeah,
so
that's
cool.
great to me.
Yeah.
I mean,
So cool.
I think like it's nice to see like some of the heritage from like how the country started and all that stuff. And
Yeah.
if I'm like to compare some things to Austin, like that I enjoy along those lines too, it's like places like the Elephant Room.
Okay. Yeah.
That place has
They
been there.
do jazz, right?
Yeah, so they do like live jazz every night, and it's
Yeah.
like in the basement, like underneath. Like Swift's Attic is in the same building and all that stuff. So
I hate to go off topic, but didn't they have a fire over there? The
I
Swift's attic?
I think they did at some point. I don't know when it was.
I thought it was like real recently and they're closed right now.
Is it right now? I don't know.
Okay, I thought it had read that they were going to open back up in April, but you know how reopening goes. It's like, well, it didn't happen in April, and then all of a sudden the restaurant's closing or something random.
Yeah.
But okay, but
Well,
we've got so the Elephant Room. So is it still kind of set up the way it's always been set up too?
yeah, and it's just like a musty like old bar that
Yeah, love that, right?
you walk downstairs and there's dollar bills stapled to all the posts and the back walls.
There's like an
and-
energy in there.
Yeah, and then like you get down there and it's just you'll see like three guys like setting up and play a little jazz set and collect some tips and get out of there. But you can go there and have a good drink, a cocktail, and just listen to some good music that you really can't hear anywhere else in Austin.
Yeah, that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, and that kind of stuff reminds me of like New Orleans.
Yeah, and I don't know how many other examples you can come up with, but New Orleans is like this huge city of just everywhere. It's just like, it's completely unique, and it's all, it's like you said, it's all preserved.
Yeah.
The character of New Orleans is just, you can't put it into words.
No, yeah, you can't beat it. You got to go there.
As soon as I went there the first time, when I came home, within a day I was planning how I was going back.
Yeah.
And I was like, how is this happening? Food is unbelievable. That might be even a place like you could kind of go and reinvent yourself as a chef, because I think they still have some real French cooking techniques that are
Yeah.
like old school, like things that not because we've got a lot of like unique things going on in Austin, but it's like a real progressive, like Loro and Uchi and these things like the fusion type things that we see. And
There's still a couple of places around Austin
okay,
that do it old school though.
any examples that you just
Like Chez Nu. I think it's like off of like 6th and like Red River or something.
okay,
But it's like right downtown, but it's kind of like hidden because it's not on 6th Street.
right,
But it's just kind of like off of it, I
okay,
guess. And they're like old school French style cooking, and
Oh, nice.
they haven't changed. It just looks like a little house on the inside and outside.
Yeah, that's nice though, right?
Yeah,
There you go. So there's a little hidden gem.
yeah, and it doesn't like your plates aren't like super fancy or anything, but
It was good food though,
it's
right?
great food, and you
Yeah.
know the French technique is there.
Yeah, and that's all over, scattered throughout New Orleans, and that's what
Yeah.
makes it what it is, right? And
Yeah.
it's something else. But I'm the same as you. I actually go more for the food,
Yeah.
more for the food than for the music.
Yeah, I mean, my intentions were going there for the food,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then all the other things that you just add on top of it, you know.
Right,
I
right.
like the cool. To me, it's cool, like the culture of like the voodoo stuff that was going on there, and
Oh yeah,
you know, a lot of people don't realize that a lot of that stuff was, you know, it was a good thing back then with like good intentions, and you know,
and now it's got a
now it's got like a negative connotation to it whenever you're like watching horror movies and stuff like that, but that's not
kinda
really
like
what it's about.
glamorized in a way where it's
Yeah, yeah. But I mean, like the legitimate like culture behind that stuff is, it's cool to like see that history for me,
oh yeah,
and to like see how the city really hasn't like transformed too much to where they're like losing their heritage, like a
right.
lot of places are.
Yeah, and Austin has a lot of stuff going on, like South by Southwest. You mentioned the tasting of North Austin. There's always, and I don't know how many years that's been happening, but like South by Southwest has been going on for a while. ACL, things like that. New Orleans though is same. I mean, every time I talk to my brother, he's like doing something, and I talk to him, and it's the kind of the years fly by, and he's back at Mardi Gras, or he's doing this again,
Oh yeah,
and he's
yeah,
completely engulfed in it. Where the difference here is maybe the same size, sort of Austin, New Orleans, but here at South by, like we were both saying, so congested. There's so many people that have come here. It's hard to just be like, I'm going to take part in that. Sometimes, especially in the industry, when South by Southwest comes, there's this huge pessimistic attitude amongst every cook about how busy it is, and it's understandable. But
yeah. I mean, there's good and bad that comes with it, you know.
right,
At the same time, it's like if you're a front of the house person, it's like when you're, you know, picking up shifts and making a ton of money too,
yeah,
you know.
swimming in cash.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
Some of those bartenders down there making like $1,000 a night, you know.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, it's crazy. But
Yeah.
I mean, like New Orleans is it's a different monster in itself. I mean, they've got a lot of stuff going on too. They've got Jazz Fest and
Jazz Fest, yeah.
Mardi Gras, and they've got Voodoo Fest and all that stuff. And
Interesting stuff.
yeah, Jazz Fest is cool. I wanted to go this year.
Would you ever go there and start cooking? Is that
You know, I don't know. For me, like I would feel like I couldn't compete.
yeah, yeah,
I mean, like I said, like I like to think that I'm more like in the realm of like food science and stuff like that. Like I like molecular gastronomy, and like, you know, I think maybe there's like a way in over there maybe, but you know, to compete with all those like old school traditional styles and all that stuff, like
oh yeah,
I don't know if I want to compete with those guys. Those guys, like you said, keep it simple, stupid. Like those
Yeah.
guys got it down.
yeah, yeah. I always think that keep it simple, stupid attitude with the attitude that you have, or the passion for what you have, when you maybe try one or the other, and they come together, you kind of get like a baby.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
something else, something new out of it. Like if you challenge, maybe I don't want to do this, but I'm going to go do it. Just like the guy at Emmer and Rye. I mean, that's kind of inspirational.
Yeah.
So he's over there right now.
I believe he's still there. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool. Yeah. So we've been talking for a bit here. You feel good?
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, the podcast itself should, it should be a fun thing. Hopefully people can get to know you a little bit. I'll say this as many times as I need to. It's going to be an open door. If you are ever doing anything new, like the door's open, come over, talk about it. If maybe I don't know how the tasting at North Austin, maybe that's coming up, and you guys are getting super hyped about something cool. If you want to get on here or bring
Yeah.
somebody else,
Hell yeah.
I wanted to talk to JP a little bit and see what he's up to.
Oh, he's a big man. He's moving up in the world.
He's moving up. He's sticking around Austin.
Yeah, he's gonna stick around Austin. I think he actually like just bought a house in like Smithville or something.
Okay, all
So
right.
he's gonna commute a little bit, but he's out in Gilbert right now, opening another culinary dropout that we got going on.
Okay, cool.
So, but he'll be back too.
Oh yeah, yeah. But it's good that he left the CDO in good hands.
I like to think so.
Oh, he did. He did 100%. No, that's great. But
Thank you.
yeah, we'll like I said, just doors open for anything, anytime. So thank you for coming on here and talking.
Yeah, absolutely. I appreciate it, man. I'll be more than happy to come back.
Awesome. All right, thanks, Chef Joe.
Cool. Thank you very much, Jason.
Yeah.